What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to the brother Zach Hankins for once again showing love to the channel with a $10 donation via the Cash App. And he leaves a question. And the question is, what's up with NFL kickers missing so many attempts? And, look, the NFL is not something I normally talk about a lot, but hey, this is a good question. And being that it's Sunday, NFL Sunday, it's appropriate time to answer this question, at least from what I've been able to look up. Look, over the last couple of decades, it's been argued how NFL kickers seem to have perfected the art of kicking and converting field goals, so much so that there have been some talk about making some of the kicks more difficult, in particular point after touchdowns, maybe pushing the distance out a little bit further because they seem to convert them so routinely. There's no suspense anymore with some of these kicks, in particular shorter field goals, right? But we've seen, and also kickers seem to be stronger legged, and they seem to be converting the longer field goals more routinely. Look, it was, amazing when we used to see, what's the guy named Morton Anderson convert a 55-yard field goal back in the day. Like, that was amazing, 57, 58. Still not necessarily a point after touchdown, but it's been done more regularly. And we're seeing more 60-plus yard field goals converted than ever before. So it's definitely not a question of skill. But what's causing all these guys to miss so many kicks? Look, this year we've seen Washington Commanders kicker Austin Seibert miss a game-time extra point in a game against the Cowboys. We saw Houston kicker, I think his name is Kaimi Fairbairn, missed a 28-yard field goal in the final 2 minutes that would have tied the game against the Titans. The Cowboys won a game despite a blocked field goal and missed from the usually near-perfect Brandon Aubrey. And we've also seen the Bengals' Evan McPherson missed 2 field goals in the fourth quarter of a tied game that Cincinnati would lose. The Falcons' Young Hung Koo missed 3 field goals in a 3-point loss to the Saints. And the Ravens' Justin Tucker, one of the game's all-time best kickers, missed 2 field goals in a close loss, I should say, to the Steelers. The Bears' Carol Santos had a game-winning field goal blocked by the Packers as time expired. So, what the hell's going on? When you look at the average field goal conversion rate this season, it's 85%. Okay? That's about on par with the modern day average of about 85%. Okay? So, by the numbers, it's not really a dip. There's not really a dip at all. But you have to look a little bit deeper in the numbers to figure out what's actually going on. Some of it is that since these missed field goals are occurring in crunch time, on fourth quarters when people tend to remember more of what's going on in games, that's why it appears that the field goal conversion rate of kickers is way down. I think it's perception. It's just like, how in football, the NBA, you tend to forget if a guy's having a bad game if he comes through in the clutch in the fourth quarter. If in the last 5 minutes of the game he's hitting shots, right? And you look at this box score and you see that he went 9 for 24. Well, not only do you tend to forgive that, you tend to go, well, wait a minute, he did? It's like he was making all the shots to me. Just like if a guy, could be killing it for 3 quarters and you're half-ass paying attention to the game, but then the fourth quarter, he's bricking. Well, then you tend to think, well, the guy's not really having that great a game. Not exactly the perfect comparison, but people just tend to pay attention more or notice things more in crunch time. But I think what's also going on is that kickers, according to the numbers, are missing more of the shorter 40 to 49-yard kicks than ever before, at least in recent years. Back in 2020, kickers made 80.5% league-wide of the 40 to 49-yard kicks. In 2021, that dipped to 77.6%. In 2022, that number was at 80.4%. Last year, 79.6%. This year, that number is down to 76.9%. So it's down significantly to what we've seen over the past several years from the 40 to 49 yard kicks. Why is that? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. What can you say? It's interesting because if you have to ask yourself, well, why is it that kickers, when they're kicking 50-plus yarders, they're the most accurate they've ever been, but the next longest kicks, 40 to 49, they're way down. Doesn't really make much sense. The only thing I could kind of think of is, how like sometimes when a person gains a lot of strength, they get stronger. Physically, it kind of throws off their touch. Like from closer within, they don't have the same touch from closer in that they do further out. I mean, I've never kicked a field goal in my life, so I can't really answer this from an experience standpoint or a personal standpoint. But I wonder, since you sort of have to use the same sort of strength or similar strength with a deeper kick as opposed to, I guess, a kick that's 47. Basically, what I'm saying is I don't see what the difference is between a 46-yarder and a 54-yarder. I mean, it's a difference, but I don't understand why one is being converted less than the other. Like I said, I'm trying to think of an explanation. Maybe when you're further back, maybe these guys are practicing 50 and 60 yarders so much, and I guess the closer ones are just a gimme, that the semi-difficult ones or distance ones, they're a little bit off with those for some reason. I don't know what it is. I honestly can't answer this one. It could just be a freak anomaly. I honestly don't know what the answer is to this. That's a sizable drop-off. Another thing I've noticed from doing research is that maybe because the kickers are a little bit bigger than they used to be, a little bit bigger. I mean, they're small compared to the other players, but still, maybe because they're a little bit bigger, stronger leg, more muscles. I mean, because they've been used more frequently. It seems like a lot of these kickers are getting a little tired in the fourth quarter, getting a little leg tired. And there seems to be a drop off in accuracy in the fourth quarter of games compared to in the past. That could also answer some of why they're missing the questions as to why they're missing so many field goals. But I'm struggling to figure out why a kicker would miss a 47-yarder more consistently than a 53-yarder. Maybe some of it has to do with focus. I don't know. I honestly can't answer this one. But I will say this. From looking at the numbers, there's a drop-off between 40 and 49-yard field goals this year. But the overall accuracy of kickers is still really good. Maybe it's a thing where, now that I think about it, maybe it's like how players practice shooting threes so much that the mid-range has disappeared. Maybe there's a connection there. These guys don't practice 44-yarders as much. Maybe everyone's practicing 55, 60-yarders. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe they're just not practicing from that distance as much. That's the only thing I can think of, y'all. But those of you who follow the game a little bit closer, give me your interpretation of this. Why are field goal kickers missing so many 40-yarders, 45-yard field goals? And why are they missing so many clutch field goals? Is it the pressure of the moment? I know in some of those instances their field goals were blocked, but still, why were some of the all-time great field goal kickers of this era missing so many field goals down the stretch of games? Tell me what you guys think.